A Runa Magnusdóttir la conocí allá en los inicios del 2000 en un Congreso Mundial de Mujeres Empresarias. En aquel momento Runa ya era una mujer tecnológica. Por eso decidí hacerle esta entrevista a Runa, que es de Islandia. Hola Runa, ¿cómo te va? Y gracias por haber accedido a esta entrevista. Te quiero preguntar, Runa, ¿qué fue lo que te llevó a lidiar y a trabajar con la tecnología en épocas donde todavía era poco habitual y más para las mujeres el uso el desarrollo de las herramientas tecnológicas?
So, technology and me. Well, truth to be told, I have been involved with technology since 1981. So, technology for me is something that I've been using. I'm founder of a global community for women entrepreneurs that I founded back in 2007, which was all online. And so now what has been happening for me during the pandemic is that it's actually made it easier for me in many cases to get other people to overcome their obstacles around using technology. And that has not been, in my experience, a gender-based thing. I see both men and women being reluctant to try it out. But once you have tried it out, it's one of those things when you overcome that, it becomes an easy peasy and people love it. So technology for me is something that I think is vitally important that we all really think about leaving a, I call it a box that you have said, if you have said to yourself, oh, I'm not an IT person, no, I'm not really much into that technology stuff. It's to overcome that, open up that box and take a look at what's inside of it. It's a limiting belief. If you can send an email, you can do a call on Zoom or Skype, or you can set up a meeting. Yes, of course, the first time that you do it just like with anything that you do first time, it's going to be maybe strange, but then after that, easy peasy. And what happens in the return is you're saving time because there is no commuting and meeting. You're being able to connect with people all over the world, or even in your closer surroundings, depending on where you are. And there is no carbon footprint on this one. It's actually quite eco-friendly to do it this way. So, and you can, in many cases, on top of that, when it comes to learning from these platforms, you can do that on your own time. So there are tons of benefits of overcoming that box and saying that you might have been telling yourself, oh, I'm not a technical person.
Y sí, es verdad, ¿no? Una vez que le agarrás la mano ya es pan comido. Qué buena comparación. Sí, yo recuerdo, Runa, que en aquella época habías creado una plataforma de mujeres empresarias, una plataforma interactiva. Ya eras una pionera, sin lugar a duda. Pero Islandia, contame de tu país. Islandia es un país donde la mujer ha alcanzado porcentajes altísimos de equidad. Es un país avanzada en términos de equidad de género. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Hubo un golpe? ¿Hubo un paro general de mujeres? Contame cómo fue eso. ¿Y qué significó para vos ese hecho histórico?
So what effect did it have on my life, being Icelandic and witnessed the day back in 1975 when women in Iceland took a strike? Well, first of all, I remember that day very well because I remember how excited my mom was. I remember how excited her friends were. I remember going with my friends downtown to witness women taking a strike, not going to work, not doing the whatever they would, if they were housewives at the time, doing that and really showing that what they were contributing in the environment was vitally important. And what effect has it had on my life, and where are we today? Well, Iceland has been for the past, I think, 10 years, number one at the World Economy Forum, where we've been number one for gender equality. And what does that mean? It means that several things. It means, for example, I think today over 6% of all women are working outside their homes. It means that we have parental leave when for children, meaning there's a leave that you take when you give birth to your child, and it's divided between the parents. So it's not just a woman's thing. It is actually it is looked at from the child perspective, that the child needs both parents. And from that perspective, it means both mom and dads have the ability to take maternity leave off and be with the child. It means, and because of that, because we have that equality, it also means, it doesn't mean when you are young people going and you're starting your career, whatever, when you're applying for a job, this subconscious thing of, if you're hiring a woman and thinking, oh, she's most likely going to be starting a family, and then you look at a man and say, well, it doesn't matter if he's starting a family, don't even think about it. That bit is not there anymore. So that unconscious biases, when people are hiring you, it's removed. Because now, just if you are on that age of being most likely wanting to start a family, or on that age bit, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Your employee knows that he or she will take parental leave when that comes. So that gives a total different mindset in everything that we're doing. What else does that mean? It also means that it is just as normal to see a dad walking down the street with a pram as it is for mom. It also means that it opens up better and closer connections between the child and both parents. And I think that's vitally important, because so many of the things that we learn as from kids is that we learn from our parents. And when we get access, I would have loved to get access to my dad that way, to be honest. I think that would have been beautiful. There was nothing wrong with my dad, by the way, but I just think it would have been different. And so we have that in place. We also have it when it comes to leadership position within the state, and within working for well, I guess I could say all over the place. You can basically see women and men in the position. We have not reached, when it comes to leadership in businesses that are on the bigger corporations, or on the stock market. So far, we don't have women there, actually in none of them at the moment. None of the stock market businesses, but it is considered to be more just a normal thing. And we have not, I wouldn't say that we have reached it completely, but we're definitely on the way. And like one CEO said to me when I was talking to him, the CEO of an insurance company, he said it was just a no-brainer for us to really make it just a conscious decision to put 50-50 genders down the line, no matter if it was on the ground floor or up to the leadership position. It is in every single aspect of their business is gender balance, just everywhere. And he said, now that we have that, and he said, and by the way, it was just a decision. That was all we had to do. It was just a decision. He said, now we have that balance. We now can hire people from more of their qualities, their real qualities, and we don't have to think about, is this a woman or is this a man? We're just going in there with that perspective.
Increíble, las mujeres hicieron un paro para poner en valor, para demostrar la importancia de las tareas que llevaban y que llevan a cabo. Sorprendente, qué buena historia esa. Contame ahora, Runa, que siempre estás creando, innovando. Iniciaste un movimiento, No More Boxes. Contame de qué se trata.
Yes, I am co-creator of a movement called #NoMoreBoxes. It's actually a movement, it's a methodology, and today it's even a lifestyle that we are talking about. And to give you a little insight into the story behind the No More Boxes movement, you see, I would say for as long as I can remember, I have never quite understood why we say that women should be doing this and men should be doing that. I just never understood it. And I always questioned it. And to work towards, in my life, to work towards more balance and getting the best out of people, I joined, I was vice president of the Icelandic Association of Women Business Leaders. I set up a global community site called Connected Women. I have been on global advisory boards for many women entrepreneurs, women business leaders, associations worldwide. I've spoken at several conferences around gender equality on that level. And I really honestly felt that that would be something that could enable women to be more heard in the business world, in the leadership world. So I'd never quite understood this division. I always seen people more of that all of us are different. None of us are the same. And the genders I've seen more as the containers that we hold than the internal thing, the passion that we hold, the character that we are, the knowledge that we have, and all of that. So I'd never seen that. And what had been troubling me for such a long time was, as more that we in Iceland, as an example, the more that women got in powerful position, the more I saw this struggle between the genders. It became women taking positions away from men. It became some sort of a conversation that I really honestly didn't understand, but I saw the division being created more and more as women stepped more and more in. And that was not what I was fighting for. I was not fighting for division. Anyway, that's a little backstory. Here comes the real story about No More Boxes movement. So back in 2018, I am a part as I and the Changemakers, we are invited to speak at the United Nations headquarters in New York City in the Global Summit Impact Leadership Conference. Now, we were there on a special panel, and one of the Changemakers was Nicholas Haynes. He was also invited to speak separately on another panel around how do we reach the UN Sustainable Development Goals on gender equality, peace, and sustainability. And Nick, he is asked this question: why are we not reaching the UN Sustainable Development Goals? And Nick says, well, it's because we consistently put people into boxes by their gender, by their race, by their religion, by their background, and we expect them to be in that box, to behave like that box, to respond like that box. We're not opening up for who they are. And as I was sitting there at the UN, I just got my Matrix moment. I just thought, wow, that is so true. We do this all the time, and it's all the time it's constraining people to be something that in their core they are not. And I remember I just sat there listening to Nick, and I thought, wow, this is so big. This is so stupid. This is so unreal.
Sensacional, Runa, sensacional. Salir del encasillamiento, salir de la caja, romper estereotipos, pensar cosas nuevas. Muy bien pensado, muy innovadora como siempre. Y hay más. Ya me contaste, me adelantaste que van a recorrer en moto el país. Unas mujeres de Islandia van a recorrer el moto el país y van a ir transmitiendo en forma directa. Bueno, realmente te felicito, Runa, siempre creando, siempre innovando. Y ya vamos a mandar tus enlaces, tus redes, inclusive para que puedan seguir ese viaje en moto a través de Islandia, que es un hermoso país, por lo que me dijiste, que tiene paisajes muy parecidos a nuestra Patagonia. Y bueno, te agradezco muchísimo y sigamos en contacto hasta cualquier momento. Adiós, Runa. Y bueno, esto ha sido todo por hoy. Espero que les haya gustado y los esperamos el próximo jueves a las 20 en Tacones de Punta. Si les gustó el programa este o los anteriores, síganos en las redes, compartan nuestras actividades y los esperamos el próximo jueves. Esto es Tacones de Punta. Gracias.